So today we're going to be talking about a mother who will not be getting the award for Mother of the Year. This is a really disturbing story. I want to preface it by saying it's so disturbing that they wouldn't even show pictures of how disturbing this case was in court. And you know, courtrooms, they typically like to show things as evidence, and it was too disturbing during the sentencing hearing. So that's what we're talking about today. It's Stacey Cole and Carol Hughes. Carol's filling in for Tony today. And boy, we're talking about just some awful stuff again.
This one is horrific. I had a real hard time reading this story.
I did too. And that's why I thought, wow, it would be perfect for Murder in the Morning, actually, because it's just so horrific and awful. This mother gets life in prison for locking her 6-year-old son in a urine-soaked closet after starving him to death. 29-year-old mother Elizabeth Archibeque from Arizona has been sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole for the murder and abuse of her 6-year-old son, Deshaun Martinez. In 2020, Deshaun was found dead. At 6 years old, he weighed 18 pounds. 18 pounds. Now, a 6-year-old, obviously, you know, size is different for each kid, but he probably should have weighed 40 or 50.
I would think.
I don't have kids, so I'm not a good gauge of that, but that's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm 4'9", so a lot of people compare me to like 6 and 7-year-olds. So that's just my thought of how much he should have weighed. He was locked in a urine-soaked closet and starved to death. She pleaded guilty to first-degree murder and child abuse, expressing some remorse during the court proceedings. Her lawyer requested the possibility of parole after 35 years, but the judge, thankfully, deemed her actions as heinous, cruel, and depraved, and then sentenced her to life imprisonment. So finally, we do get some justice. You know, you can't bring the kid back, but the judge is like, no, you don't get out and have a life after 35 years. Look what you did.
And this is one of those that just makes me sick. Because, okay, so in the home was also her husband and his mother. So they're also going to be charged. She has a trial date scheduled. I don't think they've scheduled his trial date yet. And hopefully they will both be locked up forever as well. There's 3 adults in this house. How do you go to bed at night knowing these? And it was him and his little brother in this really tiny closet. How do you go to bed at night? How do you sleep knowing that poor child, both of them, because they were both horrifically starved, the other little boy's in foster care now, and the 2 little girls in the house are perfectly healthy. They were fine. They're in foster care as well. But how do you lay in bed knowing that your kids are in a closet starving to death?
You know,
how
and
do you live with
something,
yourself?
Yeah, I'm going to bring something out that Tony often says that kind of jolts me to reality, because Tony and I think a little bit differently. To me, and I think to you, we're like, how could you just watch this happen? How could you think
3 adults? Yeah.
Yeah. But one thing that Tony always says is, well, this is normal for them. This is what they know. So it doesn't seem absurd to them because that's what we do here. We starve our kids. We punish them when they ask for food. This is life. This is how it goes. And that, like I said, jolts me back to reality that if you are in an environment that is so dysfunctional, after a while, the coping mechanism is it feels normal to you. It's a way to adjust and to not be traumatized by every little thing. I don't know if these people were complicit and just went along with it and knew it was wrong, or they're like, hey, this is what we do here. I don't know. And I did read in a little bit more to the story, and it just made me sick.
Well, she's blaming her husband, and I'm sure he was abusive. You're not in that environment without abuse, because, well, she was abusive, you know? So he might have been abusive to her, but she in turn passed it along to the kids. And as a mother, I have zero compassion for her. Well, I'm not a mother, but I have zero compassion for her as a mother, because your job is to raise and protect and love and nourish and help these children grow. And the fact that at some point that even became normal to her is just so outrageous to me. Like, she should have scooped those kids up and taken off in the middle of the night and gone to a police station. I need some help, whatever it took. But to slowly let a poor innocent child die, I don't have any compassion for her. And if she's being, she's sorry now. And I read, like, she goes, well, at least my other kids are in foster care and being taken care of. Are they? I don't even trust the foster care system. It was your job. I just have no compassion for her. It's like day after day after day after day after day. You slowly starved your child to death. I have no compassion for you. And she could have been abused. I get all that. There might be people right now, but you don't know. No, but somebody needed to step up and help those kids, and she could have been the person to do that, and she didn't.
Absolutely. And I was reading his autopsy report. He at one point was 34 pounds at age 4. He dropped to 27 pounds at age 5. He was 18 pounds when he died, which was the same weight that he was at age 1.
Oh my God. And so the pictures were so horrible. They wouldn't even show the jury.
The evidence photos were deemed too disturbing to be shown during the sentencing hearing. I grew up in the 80s. We saw pictures from the OJ trial. That was disturbing. The blood everywhere. I mean, those are things that, we are a society of show us the gore and the horrible stuff. And especially during a sentencing hearing, if they thought these photos were deemed too disturbing, I can't imagine what they look like. Because they show everything in court.
So to me, I don't want to see her ever get out.
Nope.
I think she's where she needs to be.
Yeah, she needs to stay there, and we never need to hear from her ever again.
You're locked into the Hidden Killers podcast.
Want more? Start binging on all of our true crime podcasts right now through Apple Podcasts, and get an ad-free experience when you sign up to be a True Crime Today Premium Plus member, exclusively on Apple Podcasts.
More of the Hidden Killers podcast, dropping soon.
Press subscribe now.